what do you think the Patriots season looks like?
Ooh. I think more than likely Mac Jones plays sooner than later. I think they're giving Cam Newton every chance that he possibly has. But I don't necessarily think you look at all these pickups that they had in free agency and just like slot them in for 10 or 11 wins. Like, it is a passing league, and it's great to have two tight ends, and it's great they're going to play some hurry-up offense. I think at the end of the year, you saw them play very fast a year ago with Cam Newton. I think that's the type of offense they want to run, whether it's Newton or Mac Jones. And they added a ton of talent on defense, and Dante Hightower returning is massive. Yet, I don't see them as like a top 5 roster. I don't see them as a top 10 roster. You're counting on the coaching to make up for a huge difference. And I think we saw last year what coaching can do. I think they were a 3 or 4 win roster that won 7 times, and they were maybe the least talented offense in the entire league. And I don't think just a bunch of free agent moves are kind of like solve that. The Bills, to me, are still a pretty heavy favorite over them in the East.
What do you think Justin Fields starts? We had Matt Nagy on the week after the draft, and he's like, I was there when I watched Mahomes sit for the entire first season, with the exception of the final regular season game because there was Alex Smith, and that's the plan that we have for Justin Fields sitting behind Andy Dalton. I even pushed back to basically say, I don't know if you're going to have the latitude to be able to pull that one off. And he kind of even admitted that he might not. But that's still the plan as we're sitting here the Tuesday after July 4th. What do you think about Justin Fields, Gregg Rosenthal, starting?
Yeah, I remember breaking down those quotes from your show on our show. So
terrific.
You were helping us out. And I remember he added the caveat, essentially, things can change. Like, that's our plan, but things can change. And one of those things that can change is Justin Fields looking much better than Andy Dalton in the preseason and training camp, and there's a lot of reasons to believe that could happen. You look at the Week 1 matchup against the Rams, on Sunday Night Football. Just as a football fan, I'm hoping Fields gets out there for that game, but it wouldn't shock me if they give Dalton the obligatory 1 or 2 weeks to start, and especially that first week is a tough ask, and then we see Fields in there because, yes, Pat Mahomes sat for a year. They were scoring 30 points a game in Kansas City. They were one of the highest scoring offenses in the league. There's no way that Andy Dalton Bears are going to be one of the highest scoring offenses in the league.
What about Trey Lance? What do you think his rookie season looks like? Do you see maybe him out wide, maybe next to Jimmy G, or he's just way too valuable a future quarterback in this league to throw him out there like that, and he'll just be a clipboard holder for as long as they want to stick with Jimmy G? What do you think?
Most of these guys, I feel like it's up to them. Like, it's Trey Lance's job essentially to win in camp. They spend this off season evaluating and teaching, and you know how it is. That it's go time once you're about 3 or 4 days into camp. And if he is as good as they think he is, I think he'll be starting as soon as Week 1. I mean, if he is a little more accurate than he was in college, the amount of talent on that roster is breathtaking. To me, they are one of the favorites. I'm kind of surprised when I saw right now the Rams are number 2 NFC favorite if you're just kind of going by what's in the desert and everything. And to me, I don't see the Rams as being particularly better this year. There's a lot of reasons to think they'll decline outside of the quarterback position. And the 49ers and the Seahawks in that division is just so loaded. We've seen Kyle Shanahan with a similar type of quarterback in RG3 light up the league as a rookie, and I don't really see any reason why he would be afraid to play Trey Lance as long as he has a good auger.
All right, I'll push back on the Rams thing, Greg, because there was ever since that that Monday nighter where the Rams and the Chiefs killed defense, right? Supposedly, and then the Super Bowl was played and there was only 1 touchdown scored. The Rams offense hasn't been the same since then, and they seem to have been missing a gear. And no matter how beautiful a ball that Jared Goff can throw, it just seemed that there was just a certain gear that was missing on that, and it might have been Gurley not being as healthy as we were all hoping for. It could have been that, but the fact that they do have a running game that Stafford's never had. The receiving core is you could say the same, if not maybe better. Why don't you like the Rams to improve this year?
Because I don't think the defense is going to stay at the same level. Generally, defenses that good don't stay at the same level. It's much easier to have a great, consistent offense. So that's one area. You think about who they lost in the secondary. They're going to miss Josh Johnson. They're going to miss Troy Hill. They're going to miss 3 defensive coaches. It wasn't just Brandon Staley. It was Aubrey Pleasant. It was the coordinator who's now in Green Bay, Barry. And you look at their roster, and it's an ultimate stars and scrubs roster. How bad can your defense be when you have Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey? It's not like they're going to be bad, but there are a lot of positions where they're average or below average, and they are counting on their ability to develop. And they've done a good job with that over the years, but they have lost so much in terms of their coaching staff. They didn't add anything to their offensive line. I just think you're really counting on a big upgrade from going from Goff, who at times was a good quarterback and certainly was not last year, to a top 10 type of quarterback in Stafford, but not a top 5 guy, not one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And you're in a loaded division. And I think if you just look at the roster, 1 through 10, the Rams stack up against anyone, but they're not as thin. They've been very lucky in terms of injuries over the last couple of years, one of the least injured teams in the league. And I just feel like there's a lot of reasons to believe they're going to battle to win 10 or 11 games. That NFC West is going to just be a bloodbath.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.